guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm still here at the New York Auto Show. Of course, we had to stop at the Chevrolet booth with all the exciting vehicles that they are launching for the 2024 and 2025 model year. But guess what? One vehicle that I definitely wanted to bring back to you is this one right next to me. What the heck is it? This is your all-new Chevy Silverado EV RST. But before we get into this fully electrified full-size Silverado, let's talk about what's going on here. The Silverado, a long time ago, believe it or not, it was actually a trim in their Chevy pickup line. Now we know it as that particular top-selling truck, whether you're going full-size or you're going with one of the heavy-duty versions of the Silverado, it still gets the job done, plus does more truck things than any truck before it has ever accomplished. Now with this Silverado EV, we're talking about a full BEV. What the heck is a BEV? A battery electric vehicle. So remember, GM uses that specific Ultium battery pack in the belly of this beast, and you're gonna have, of course, the electric motors. Now with this being the RST, we're looking at the top trim. And what does RST stand for? Rally Sport Truck. That's what it stands for. And you can get RSTs in other Silverados, but this particular one means that this is the top trim. And RST, the first time that that was available on a Chevy was all the way back in 1987. To put that in perspective for you, I was 11 years old. But anyways, now in the modern era of a lot of electrification, of course, Tesla with the Cybertruck, Rivian, Chevy knows there's a lot of competition. So what I want to do is I want to find out, is this gonna be that best new electrified truck, especially if you want the top dog, the one with all the power and the range? Is this the way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Silverado EV RST and find out. Right off the bat, the dimensions. It really showcases how the designers were with the difficult task of making this look like a Silverado, but then also having to follow simple physics. A lot of times when we think of electrified vehicles, especially the early ones, they look like science projects. They look like jelly beans. Well, guess what? You're gonna have nice smooth curves, but still that bold Chevy Silverado design. At the front, of course it goes without saying, you're gonna have full LED lighting. And I love the way the daytime running lamp extends all the way across the front. You're gonna have your separate pod with that LED projector beam headlight. And then as we work our way down, this is where you start to see the functional aero. So you're gonna have air curtains up top, air curtains down below, because what they're saying, and when I say they, we're talking about Chevrolet, they're saying that there's a range of 450 miles on this vehicle. One way to accomplish that is by having good aero, and it's all about channeling that airflow. Now, as we come across the front, of course, it's that Chevy bow tie. It goes back to the early 1900s, Louis Chevrolet, so much history within one badge. I love the way they actually sink it into the front-mounted trunk. And yes, this is a totally usable front-mounted trunk. Working our way down, you do have this gloss black area, but the good news is it's fully functional. You have a forward-facing camera. And remember, the reason why it's functional is not because there's an internal combustion engine underneath the hood. It's because we need to bring air to cool that Ultium battery pack, which is liquid cooled. That's gonna help with that. Now, as we rise up, I like the way they have that prominent badge, the RST Rally Sport Truck, prominently displayed. A lot of history there going back to 1987. This will be power assist open, where you'll have tons of cubic feet in here so that you could store just about anything and have that all-weather protection. You'll notice that different from your Silverado that's sitting in your driveway right now is you have that nice curve to the hood. It's all about the aerodynamic efficiency, but it also has the bold body style of a Silverado. Now, when we come around the corner, get ready, because you're looking at New York pizza size wheels, 24-inch wheels in diameter. I love the machined aluminum, the carbon flash metallic paint, and then of course that Chevy bow tie in the center. You will have your full regen braking, and of course with this one we have dual motors. So what does that mean? All wheel drive and 24-inch wheels, like I said. Kind of crazy. You're looking at 275 on the width and a 50 series sidewall. You have your adaptive air ride suspension. Lori could actually show that off inside to raise and lower your Silverado RST. And then you'll notice the bold fender flares that are gloss black to match what's going on in the lower grille area. Now, with those dual motors, you're looking at about 755 horsepower, which is gonna make this go 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, range 450 miles, and here's the kicker. You could charge on a DC fast charger, you could charge 100 miles in 10 minutes. That's gonna make this electrified truck, I think, a little bit more palatable compared to the Cybertruck or compared to the Rivian. Now, working our way back, you do have your power folding mirrors, gloss black, 360-degree cameras, the bold Silverado name, and I love the way you have the blue E because this is the Silverado EV. And you have the fixed running boards, which makes sense because this is where you have that multi-cell Ultium battery pack, and it's really nice the way that the running boards kind of just blend all of that in very clean. Now, one thing you should know, and I've already told you this before, but I know a lot of you don't like to listen. Here's the thing. This is not meant to look like an Avalanche. The designers did not look at the Chevy Avalanche when designing this. It simply was form following function with the way that they designed the rear cab of the truck. Now, am I happy that it has this style? Yes, because I think the Avalanche was a very important truck to the Chevrolet lineup. Let me know how you're feeling about this rear quarter panel coming into the rear bed of the truck, if you're digging this look or if you're not really digging it. Working our way towards the bed, get ready because you're gonna get that multi-flex tailgate, and there's also the mid-gate that folds down. But check this out, as we swing around back, I already have it in the down position. We've showed you this plenty of times on Raiti's Rides, but let's go ahead and talk about the lighting first. You have full LED lighting, taillights, turn signals, the whole shebang. And then of course we're gonna have our step system. Now you could use this many different ways. It folds many different ways, but this is a way to get into the bed of the truck. On the passenger side, you're gonna notice all of our plug-in capability, because remember, you could power your house for a few days if the power goes out because of a storm or bad weather or whatever. Right there, you'll also notice the mid-gate is folded down. So that's gonna make the bed actually extend even further to where you can get an 18-foot surfboard back here. If you have one of those old school surfboards, you could get it back in here and you got plenty of room. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior, because that's where big things are in store with this Silverado EV. All right guys, before we jump inside, of course we had to show you that front mounted trunk area. So you're gonna have that power lift, and then you have that full weather protection in here for storage in the front of the vehicle. Now what's great is of course you're gonna have your power supplies, and this is just another way to make an electrified vehicle be more versatile. Not all vehicles have a front mounted trunk, especially the trucks that we've shown you. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside the interior to see where you're gonna be spending time in this Silverado EV RST. All right guys, we are inside, or at least we're gaining inside this Chevy Silverado EV RST. This particular one in Avalanche Gray, this is the first time that it's being seen in public. That's why they don't want auto journalists to just jump on in. But I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I was thinking about a Rivian R1T. Cybertruck is cool, but it's not for me. But I am liking this Silverado. How much is the RST? MSRP for the way that this one is spec'd is $106,000. Remember, it is that top trim. The work truck comes in at $74,000. But let's see how it compares to the competition. To the door panels, I absolutely love the style. You have the two-tone stitching, the blue with the red, that's specific to the EV RST. We have no gloss black around the switchgear, and you'll notice that large Bose speaker grille cover. The design that's in the bottom portion of the door panel on the back where the pocket is Like the way they put that design there, and you have more room in there to put, of course, some Italian meatball subs from Johnny's down on 54th Street. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. Love that neoprene material. Look at the AC vent trim, that anodized bright red trim, the blacked out chrome finish, and then of course you have your New York Twinkie tray, 13 Twinkies in that center setup. Infotainment system, I can't turn it on for you because we are at the auto show, but that's an over 17-inch infotainment system screen. You got real knobs and switches for the AC controls, plenty of wireless charging, USB-Cs, big cup holders for those Yeti cans, a place where you could put your meatballs. If you're done playing with your balls, you could put your meatballs in there, and I like the way they did the first edition badge with the stitching. And then the seats. Perforated, they're gonna be heated, ventilated. I love the piping. And then it's full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and you got that glass panoramic roof to bring in an extra amount of sunny D rays. But why don't you come over to the business end behind the wheel? I want to show you this RST. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Now, what's great is that you can see, because this is a battery electric vehicle, just how low the floor is. That's going to give you more leg room up front and in the back. You got your seat controls, easy to get to, and then check out that steering wheel. I like the thickness. That red stitching is actually just needlepoint perfect, the RST badge. And then you see this gloss black here, this has the Super Cruise. And then of course you're gonna have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with all the readouts. We're gonna be bringing the drive. We have all our additional buttons where you could raise and lower, open the front, open the back, all power assisted to make life easier. But you know what? It's not just about the people up front. Let's check out the back seat because I wanna show you how that mid-gate folds down. All right, guys, probably the most fascinating thing about this truck has got to be that folding mid-gate. So why don't you come on in, and you can see that Chevrolet actually has this display vehicle showing what's going on. So we have the rear seat, the bottom portion goes up. Then you have the back portion, the seat swings down, and then that allows you to fold down the mid-gate, which has the bed liner material, so you could have that protection and have that extension. And you could do one side down, and like we have over there, one side up. And with this being an EV, the floor is much lower. You can actually see right here how much lower the floor is, flat all the way across, with this giving you more passenger room. But you know, it's things like these that we like to bring to you. And we'll go ahead and walk to the front. We'll have a little bit of a little chat as we're walking. These are the things that we like to bring to you while we're at the auto shows. We've already showed you a Silverado EV in blue. We did the black. We did the work truck. Now it's nice to see a shade of color that is all new, first time on display in public. So let me know what you think. Has Chevy hit the nail on the head, that electrified nail on the head? Is this the best new way to buy your electric truck? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Of course, we need to give it up, LG Raiti. She's awesome. That's all I can say. Awesome, capitalize, underline, with quotations. Thank you, Lori, for just being awesome. That's all I can say. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.